Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Perth for the City of Perth Masters 2017 curling competition. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Champions Curling Tour in association with Le Gruyere, Switzerland, and sponsored by the Mercure Perth Hotel in association with Perth and Kinross Council, Live Active Leisure and Perth Honda. We've got a cracking tie this morning. We've got Thomas Ulsrud of Norway up against Scotland's Tom Brewster. With us today is Mary Milne. So good morning, Mary, and welcome to the Perth Masters.
Good morning, Rob. It's lovely to be here. A bit sniffy and snorty, so I apologise to anyone out there who's having to listen to that. I will do my best not to cough and splutter too much.
We've just seen the first practice stone of the draw shot. We've got Hammy McMillan throwing the draw shot stone this morning. Tom Brewster has been doing it previously, but
so the boys don't have to throw a draw each. They can choose who draws. In some competitions that I've been watching this year, the teams have to rotate so that the draw shot's thrown by a different player, but I'm not sure. We should have checked that so we had our facts and figures correct.
Well, in the Worlds and Europeans, they do the alternative anti-clockwise and clockwise throw. Each player has to throw at least two of them throughout the competition, and it all gets added together for the a last stone differential to sort out tiebreakers. But here it's just a simple one stone at the button, and nearest the pin gets the hammer.
This is looking pretty close here from young Hamilton.
Calm
just
down.
Maybe a little bit more of a draw.
So you can do.
Yeah, it's a good weight. He's just slightly got the line wrong, but I think they'll be happy enough with that. It's not easy going to a cold track, first game, and getting the ice and line absolutely perfect when you only get one practice stone at this.
The boys had their last game yesterday afternoon. Would that be right? They didn't play the later session, so they've been off the ice for a wee while. They maybe haven't seen whether it's, it was pooling quite a lot yesterday, the games I saw, so maybe this morning's going to be a little bit straighter, or maybe it'll just take a while for the big draw to develop, but we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, so second draw of the day, the ice gets cut every two draws, so what we're seeing this morning, very, very quick, the stone's gliding on a bit, and a bit more curl. The stones react on the slicker ice. We've had one draw on this, although it's been pebbled. It'll be a tenth slower possibly at the start, and it'll maybe just, like you say, Mary, it'll stay a little bit straighter, and that's just what caught the boys out there, I think. I think that's just what Thomas said as well.
I think he was agreeing with you there. I was just thinking they're looking very smart this morning in their
Pyjamas.
Their dark outfits, yes.
I think they've just got up.
Do you think so? I think you've got jammies like that, Rob. I'm sure I've seen them on the washing line.
Not in public, I don't.
So Thomas is throwing the draw here. Obviously he's not abdicating responsibility to anyone else in the team. He's taking it on the chin himself.
I think that would be more normal. It also gives them a chance to try out his last stone. So this will be the stone he throws second in the first two or three ends. So it's giving him a feel for the stone as well as how much it's going to curl. What's interesting is he didn't follow Hammy McMillan's track, so he's taken the in-turn. So
I think they have to.
Yes. Yeah.
Did they toss to see who
throws?
Who chooses the handle? Yes. So because then the person going
would
second, I guess, would have the advantage. So we'll see. So he's probably happy enough that he was a little bit shorter there. Throw the same weight, then it'll glide on a little bit further for them, hopefully.
He's cut his ice slightly too, so he obviously went to school a wee bit in his first one in terms of line.
Yeah, it's maybe just a fraction straighter. I'm trying to think if it was a wee bit colder outside this morning. It's certainly very damp outside in Perth. We've got a pretty misty morning, so whether the dampness in the air will make any difference to the ice. not too sure. Paul and his boys will be working hard to make sure the ice is as good as it possibly can be, though.
Yeah, it's not easy for the ice technicians. It's pretty close here. The line's perfect.
Yeah, line's great.
Yeah.
And perfect weight.
Yeah, great stone. Like, there's no doubt.
It was 2 good draw shots in weight, and it was just unfortunate that Hammy's stone was a 1.5 feet probably further wider than they would have liked. So Thomas Ulsrud will have last stone advantage.
13-7 når de spilte var kosting mye da.
Save the measure. Yeah, it's not been easy this week for the ice technicians. Thursday's draw, so -2 outside. So they have to alter the humidity and the ice temperature inside here. And today it's probably about +8 outside with damp and misty conditions. So they'll have to crank the plant up a bit more today.
Yeah, it's been a funny old spell of weather, temperature-wise, with up and down. We can't complain too much, I suppose. Everybody got here, no sign of snow and ice that caused any travel issues. So
yeah,
it's all good.
So the team's just talking about their tactics for the first end. I think there'll be a strategy discussion. They'll work out, are they going to keep it defensive, or they'll be cat and mouse the first couple of ends. Now, I think this is what makes the game fascinating. You've got 2 really experienced teams here that know each other so well, and it will be a game of chess for an end or 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they just get going and go for it right from the very start. But I suppose you don't want to put yourself in on the back foot after a couple of ends and think that you've got to work pretty hard to drag the game back. But both these teams like to play attacking curling, so we should have a good game to watch this morning, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake. So we've got an A road final here. So the winner of this qualifies straight for quarterfinals. They don't need to play again until Sunday, so there's quite an incentive. The losing team would go down to the B road and straight back on the ice against another team who's at a rest. So there's a big incentive to get the job done here and now.
So this is looking like a good stone from Harry. And Tom, I should say, calling the guard. So we are going to see an attacking end right from the get-go.
Yeah, it's a good stone to start with. It's you've got a little bit of control at the end if it's right on the centre line. So Thomas Ulsrud calling the come around straight away.
This one's drawing a wee bit for them though. You're going to just nick that stone and make it a better centre guard actually. But
I think he would just light the weight there. I think if his weight had been 8 feet further, he was getting past that. The line wasn't too bad.
So a change of hand for Team Brewster, and we'll see if this one swings a little bit more.
Yeah, they certainly like the weight.
Yeah, they don't look to be working too hard, just kind of keeping it moving, but again, just not maybe drawing as much as they thought, but super weight from young Hammy.
Harvard Pettersson not wasting any time. Going for the wee tap back and check here, but I think he's just heavy enough. Ah, he's pretty good.
Oh, that's
lovely
a super
shot.
Yeah, lovely. And the ice moving as much as it is gives the teams the opportunity to play those kind of tap back shots at hack barrier weight, and you're getting a bit of movement, and it makes for a much more exciting game. All the shots are available to you, aren't they? There's nothing that you can't play.
Oh, sure. And we've got a centre guard that's only a foot from the ice, and they're going to call the shots come right round and sit on top of it. So it swings a lot at the end.
Boys are straight onto this one. They're obviously thinking it's a little bit shy of weight.
Yeah.
Short!
Oh, Glenn making his views perfectly clear there.
Yeah, indeed.
A little bit short there from Ross, so he'll be looking to improve on that with his next stone, I should think.
Yeah, surprising. Ross been really consistent over the competition, so
I think he's had a good season.
Yeah, just caught him
Rob,
out.
to be fair, he's played really some steady stuff from what I've seen and what I've heard. So the boys have had a good season so far.
So Christopher Sva just been called to come right on top of that.
Bra linje! Oh,
Team Norway in a good position here if they can capitalise.
hvor lange?
This one looks like it's not pulling maybe as much as they would have hoped. It's maybe just fully there for weight.
Få den ut da, få den ut. Ja, 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 ja.
Yeah, that maybe works to Team Brewster's advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Normal!
This is the first game I've seen Team Ulsrud play this weekend, and Thomas himself sweeping there is a rare sight. Is there a back injury? You had a chat with the team before. I see Torger's on the head.
I think a chat is putting it stretching
Great
things.
shot.
I had a quick chat with Thomas to check that he wanted to have a word with us at the 6th end, so we'll look forward to that. But
We'll get a good word
I
with
know
him later.
in the Europeans, I think, is it a shoulder injury that maybe Torger has that
Oh, right, okay.
Thomas has been out doing a bit of the sweeping. I'm pretty sure that was the case at the Europeans in a couple of games, so maybe they're just deciding to give him a little bit of a rest.
Ja! 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 Hard!
They're certainly working Thomas on this
Yeah.
stone. Well, it's
Yeah,
amazing how quickly it changes in two stones, isn't it?
Turned round a lot.
Yeah.
Just Christopher Sva just slightly heavy with his first one. Gave Ross the opening and he got right in. Suddenly it's the other way around again.
Yeah.
Advantage Brewster.
Brewster's throwing the long guard again, I think, here. That's a lot of ice, so he's obviously expecting it to move a fair bit. This will be Glenn's first stone of the end, I think, isn't it?
Of course, Glenn Muirhead's based in Perth here, does most of his curling here, so he knows the ice well.
Head down and just go. Let's
Come on, head down, go, 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 go! Boys, go! Hard line!
That looks like it'll end up in a fairly useful position.
It's a long guard.
It's not ideal.
Glenn's not so impressed with it, but
No, he really wanted it another 6 feet up, so at least it was half guarding the guard as well as guarding the shot in the house. He wanted to protect the short guard and prevent that.
yeah.
Great
Just
shot.
So accurate, these boys. They don't miss many of these
No.
opportunities. But Tom still has his a couple of guards there. So unfortunately, the Reds are ideally placed to be raised onto any stone he does put into the house. But you've got to make it, I suppose. They're going to hope that Glenn can pop one right round here.
Yeah, we certainly hoping to be deeper than his first one. The first one maybe just a bit of a marker for weight. Certainly looks heavier this time
Roll line!
on the high side.
Ross, here! Ross, go!
Yeah, it's certainly
Don't be here!
still
Oh.
moving, but it's
It's
coming
curl.
hard now, yeah.
Right back here! Whoa. That'll do. Spurry's out.
Yeah, he was certainly all there for weight. Perhaps if it had
I guess if it's not going to be buried, you probably want it a little bit deeper. So it does suck them in to a draw and give you a chance to follow them in.
absolutely, if it'd been in that position, 6 feet further forward, they would have just played the red raise, and then you're playing against a stone on the button guarded, where pull them into the draw. Brewster's team will have the chance to come round, potentially tap it back or sit on it, depending where they end up. But the weight on this one looks pretty good. Is it maybe going to slip behind the tee? Not quite. No, that's a good shot.
Yeah, great shot.
But yeah, Tom will definitely be able to come round and.
Yeah, it's maybe still a shade deep.
Yeah, they would have been hoping for top 4 there.
Yeah.
It's good being able to hear what the boys are saying, and obviously the discussion that takes place amongst the team. It's crucial that all the players know exactly what they're going for on each and every stone. So the good teams do the communication really well, and we won't maybe understand an awful lot of what Team Ulsrud are discussing, but hopefully we'll understand more of what Team Brewster have got to say to each other.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Glenn Muirhead and Tom Brewster have got a good relationship, but certainly they don't hold anything back. They let each other know what they want.
Yeah. So we're fully there for weight, I think, a little. It's coming now.
Yeah, I think
bit.
he's just bouncing. He doesn't want to bounce and roll into the open here.
Yeah, that was probably just a little heavier than they had hoped.
Yeah.
So it's advantage Team Ulsrud again.
Yeah, the pendulum swings a little hit and
But
check, but he really probably doesn't need to move the yellow at the moment.
Yeah, they look like they're
They look like they
thinking of
fancy the
just
draw. Yeah.
throwing top 4.
I suppose if you play hit and check, they're both going to be back tee, and Team Brewster can come and sit right on top. So the draw top 4, leaving a slight angle that he jams it onto his own yellow would be a great position.
Absolutely. Thomas will be looking to score a 2 here, and if he plays, as we say, if he plays the hit and flop over, then he's giving Tom the chance to come round. So this is really gonna, if he makes this, that it makes it a tough shot for Tom to follow him.
Took a shade more ice as well that time. He's hopefully going to be less weight. Top of the 8-foot swept, but he looks deeper.
Yeah, I think this is potentially. Well, opens the door again for Team Brewster. If they can take a couple of feet off the weight that Tom threw with his first stone, then this could be a good position for them to try and force, or maybe even steal, depending where it ends up. So.
Yeah, Thomas was disappointed with that. They came on the brushes just to try and hold the line to at least get the check off the yellow, but his weight was always heavy. He's still sitting okay, but there's a door slightly ajar for Team Brewster here.
Yeah, it's just been an end of obviously trying to suss the weight and the ice, and there have been a couple of half shots by both teams, which lets us get this position where there are stones in the house.
Ross only! Ross! No bounce!
The line's looking good on this, but
line.
just all about the weight.
No bounce! Yep. Yes! Whoa!
Well, I think there was a little bit of bounce, but it's a nice stone there. Thomas is going to have to play one of those reds on, do you think, Rob?
Yeah.
And there's always the chance of jamming it onto the back, one of those back reds. So this isn't by no means an easy shot or a straightforward shot for them. That was about as good a result, I think, as Tom could have got. Obviously, it's moved the back red maybe a foot further than he would have liked, but
he had to be on the safe side.
Yeah, you were getting nothing for being short there.
That's right. If you're going to be wrong, be heavy wrong.
Oh, this has been a good game of hurling to waken us up.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said earlier, they've really gone for it straight off. So I think this is quite a risk and reward shot as well. I'm wondering whether he could probably have followed Tom similar weight to Team Brewster on the in-turn and followed it in for his one. But this is a risk reward, so he could probably get a 2 here if he gets this right.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if he's super lucky, not lucky, but super accurate maybe, there's the outside chance of a 3 even. So you're going to go for it. It's it's the first end, absolutely worth the gamble.
If he loses a 1, he loses the hammer. That's all.
Yeah, kind of barrier weight. It's not a huge weight he's playing here.
Yeah, control. Pretty close.
Oh. Actually, he could have. I suppose playing any more weight, there was the danger that actually he could have done that and moved the Reds far enough to give up, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So that was a good choice of weight. And
I mean, he was millimetres away from just picking the yellow and potentially the 2 backstones counting. We'll just see a rerun of it here. Yeah, great end of attacking curling. That was the key stone, I think, when they got the chance to get in there.
So.
And then obviously the stone from Brewster at the end there, the attempted freeze. So some great curling. Advantage Brewster, but Ulsrud maintains the hammer.
Absolutely. It's a 3-shot swing there almost, though, because Thomas Ulsrud was, after his first stone, you would have said he was looking fairly comfortable to score a 2 there. So actually for Team Brewster to turn that around and make the steal, it's on, we're only talking 1 shot, but it'll settle them maybe a little bit and think, right, okay, we kind of got away with it a little bit there, a couple of half shots, and they still managed the steal. So be interesting to see if we go as attacking in this end, or whether is this one coming into the house.
I think
top 4 was the call.
Brewster was happy to call it top 4 this time because he's got that nudge ahead, and
a little bit deep, but
it just shows you that the top teams, 1 stone, it's the timing of getting that attacking stone right. Whoever plays the stone right at the right end at the proper time really clinches the end. It's you can't wait for mistake, because the mistakes don't come. You've got to play a good shot to win an end.
Oh, absolutely. You have to try and force the situation. You waiting for mistakes is it's just not the way you want to play. You want to make your own fortune and make your own chances.
Yeah, just a bit too long from Team Ulsrud there. I think they'd be hoping to get that corner guard another 6 feet up on this swingier ice that you could come round that and tap back at hack weight. So they'll maybe throw another corner on the same side and maybe use that to guard the guard. Team Brewster coming back in again, though. They'll not be taking too many chances in long centre guards. They'll be coming into the top of the 12.
Make sure he's in. It's covering nothing. Fully in. Okay. That'll do.
That's about exactly where he called it.
Actually, that one sat down quite quick compared to the other one. Just where we thought the one played.
Yeah, the long guard there. Whether Team Ulsrud with Hammy coming in a little bit deep, thought that the ice had quickened up a little bit more than it maybe has, so a fresher path and just as you said, really quite a lot shorter than they would have wanted to be, so forced to come down the same hand again. It's almost at the end of the day that long one shouldn't really be in play, shouldn't really make much of a difference to the outcome of the end, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, it's providing a bit of cover for the second corner guard. That's the one thing it has done. We'll probably see Team Brewster taking them off, and no, he's gone centre. Good call.
I'm loving this. This is great curling to be watching. It's a couple of the games yesterday, the long guards were coming off, and it's obviously the accuracy required is the same. It's still a difficult shot, but it's nice to see the teams making the best of this swinging ice and playing the attacking curling that they can.
Yeah, well, for me it just shows the difference between the top teams, where not only they've got confidence in their own ability to play the shots, the skips are quite happy, they know they can draw the 4 foot with their last, but also they're confident in the stones and in the ice. They know which way they're going to react, so they're happy just to take a risk on and leave themselves the 4 foot for the last stone.
Both teams have had a few games on the ice now, so they're quite comfortable, as you say, with how it's moving. Fair old backswing there. You don't see that too often nowadays, do you?
Yeah, Christopher Svaaminen taking no prisoners with this strike. Thought he'd got all
nearly,
three.
Yeah.
It's a good shot though. He's doubled off the 2 front yellows and left his corner guard in play. So
Ross was maybe just a little bit deeper than he'd hoped there with the guard. A couple of feet shorter, and it would have been in a better place for Team Brewster. But they're going for the guard again, so
No more anyway.
we'll see what he does this time.
yeah, the fact that there's a double guard up there has meant that they have to keep persisting with this.
You just keep your head up.
It would have kept too much of an opportunity for Ulsrud to come round it if they had peeled the close guard.
I think the boys, Team Brewster, are actually communicating more than I have seen them in previous competitions. I think that, obviously they've had a busy season so far. They had the European qualifier that they won, and then they have been at the Europeans, which didn't go as well as they would have liked. I don't think that would be, remiss of me to say that. But I think they look to have learned from that, and they seem to be more of a unit, more of a, the communication seems to be better to me. I don't know if you agree, Rob, or if you've noticed a change, but I think there's a wee change there. I think the trip to Japan, where they had really a very successful competition on the back of the Europeans, has
Great shot.
My goodness,
That was
what
a great shot. Great
yeah,
call.
great sweeping.
Hardly a port there, but taking it on.
That was a tight hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Team Brewster, they're showing huge confidence at the moment. It's funny how the communications within a team improves the more wins they get. They're on a 9-game streak now, and it's a big turnaround and a great comeback from the Europeans, where you're right. I mean, they ended up joint 5th, but that would be below par for their expectations. They went there for a medal, and we've got a great angle for the production team now, seeing Glenn's gap between those stones. It's not massive. You can fit a stone through, but there's millimetres to spare either side.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll
That's the worst of someone else going through a port. It's there.
Certainly just a bit narrow out of his hand, but he's...
but it gets the run in. The shimmy and run through, we would call that. Yeah.
Shows how close he was, because he's feathered both guards and gone through, so it has created an option for Team Ulsrud to lie 2.
Yeah. But the shorter guard is gone, so even if he does make the hit and roll here, Team Brewster will have a play on either shot. But yeah, that was travelling, that one too.
Yeah.
Glenn and Christopher can both. Well, all the guys on the sheet here can throw a big weight accurately.
They've actually just called the draw here, Mary, which is a great call too. He's going to try and manufacture something, even though he's not line shot. He's going to swing another one round the corner guard.
They're having to work hard on this one, but I think their hard work's going to pay off, is it?
Yeah, as long as they're counting, that's all they were after.
This gives Brewster a dilemma, but clearly it's not hidden if he thinks he's going to have a wee tap back at it and roll over into the centre again. So
it's a real dilemma.
Hack barrier weight.
And I think this is what we were talking about earlier, that guard was just a little bit long from Havard Pettersson early on. Even though that's probably right behind the guard, Glenn can come round there at hack weight and just remove it from play, and possibly even roll across into the middle.
Yep. Hard.
The boys are working this. Still pulling though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's maybe just a shade down and wait.
Oh, yeah.
They got it past. They've worked it well.
Oh, that's a
That's
super
perfect.
shot. Yeah, that was great sweeping by the guys there. They held that well.
Yeah, and the fact that they managed to not roll and, you know, they managed to be right tight to the guard has meant that Norway can't actually make a play on that. They're going to follow it.
They were looking like they were going to play the hit and roll off the yellow sitting on the button there, but I guess then Tom Brewster, it's a battle of the Thomases, would been able to tap up his yellow, so they're thinking they need to make a play on that front yellow. This looks a little bit heavier maybe than Glenn's.
Yeah, certainly bigger weight. He's going to take some of the stone, but he's going to roll into the other side, I think. Pretty good. Big dilemma here. That's a better stone.
Yeah.
Can he afford to go for that?
You don't really want to be kind of hitting something behind the tee, but that yellow's a little bit lonely in there now.
Very exposed, isn't it?
Do that, right? Yeah. Splashing. What weight are you thinking of playing on?
Normal.
And then
Even if we spill that. I don't think we can get to that. There's no way you make that and then turn.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can get
you
to it
throw
either.
anything guard, and he's just coming in.
Guard's not the shot.
No, I
Mind
think
you, we could guard it. You could guard it. The problem is you've got to get a tight guard.
guard's not the shot. Oh well, we could guard it.
I mean, to get that right on, to get rid of that,
Yeah.
we're probably rolling.
Yes.
And he's going. He's just coming here,
Yeah.
right? But it is long. Can we tap it? Can we tap out at 12? And then we get the blank.
Or you guard. It's got to be a tight guard though.
I'm not huge on the guard, because you know what I mean. I don't know. What would you think, like?
Well, the guard is.
Because you guard.
If you make the guard perfect here, right? He's hitting the guard.
Problem with the guard on swinging ice is, you know,
Think we could get
you've got a
that?
foot more weight than you expect or a foot less
Probably
weight,
could, eh? What do
and
you?
then you leave them a shot to lie three.
I think you could, if you can lock the yellow.
I think that's the call. The risk with the guard is if it goes wrong, you could lose three.
Yeah.
Whereas
We're still going to have a double.
playing the hit
Right,
on
okay,
this,
so we're going for
you
just
should
a
only
piece.
ever lose
Normal.
a two, and potentially it gets you out of this mess he's in.
Comfy with this.
You've got to make sure that
Get it
at
right.
least one of these reds goes, and you try and keep both your yellows in the house. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm not sure what I would be doing here. I don't know if I would be doing this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I probably wouldn't. I don't know what I'd do.
I think the guard's good if you're going to play it tight and almost corner freeze the top one.
Yeah, I quite like the freeze, but that they never discussed that at all as an option.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not loving this.
That's a pretty good attempt, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, that was close, wasn't
it
it?
just had to curl a little bit more, and although the shooter was always going to go, it looked like another half inch, and he was going to drive
Yeah.
the yellow onto the red and double the reds.
It's not, you know, they're still in a fairly comfortable-ish position here. They've got that red behind the tee. Thomas is going to have to make a play on this. They're going to have an option because of that long guard. I mean, that's the shot that we said wasn't really going to do Team Ulsrud an awful lot of good, and it's proving to be the case that they've been able to come round it or
I think the key shot was Torger Nergaard's second shot there. It was a terrific result for him, getting the hit and the roll right on top of the short stone made a big difference. Team Ulsrud favourite for a two at the moment.
yeah. But then it looked the same in the last end, and that turned around. So you can take nothing for granted, I don't think. Oh. Double off that one.
Certainly there's a chance of it. It's quite flat, but I think he can probably, if he plays big weight at this, he should be able to bounce it across.
There seems to be, you're getting good action off the stones, and the heads are fast enough, aren't they, that, that they could give this a good go.
It was a wee dilemma there. Glenn wanted to sweep it so it was in the open, but obviously the more he swept it, the flatter he was making it. So they've got it about where they want it. They can hit what they want to see. They can see what they want to hit.
Oh my goodness. They're having to work hard on this one though. They don't want to miss this. Oh, hard lines. That was a good try, wasn't it?
It was as much as they could do, really. They shaved the guard, and it was just too flat for them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Tempted to say the only way he could have got that better was if he was heavier.
It didn't look shy of weight, though.
No, it wasn't draw weight.
No, a canny tap back, it was not. But, Thomas has to make this shot, and still, I suppose, after Torger's shot, a 3 was even maybe on the card, so a 2 here is a good score for Ulsrud, but it's not a disaster for Team Brewster. It keeps the game still very, very, close, and gives Brewster the hammer again. So we'll see what kind of weight this is going to come down. Maybe hack barrier.
Yeah, it'll be pretty controlled anyway. Give the rushes a chance.
Whoa!
I guess the minute that Team Brewster didn't throw guard, they were content to lose a 2 because Ulsrud was favourite for a 2 at that point, but they were making sure that there was never going to be an outside chance of a 3, and I think that was the right call at the second end.
Absolutely.
Don't lose a 3 in the second. Lose a 2, you're 1 down with a hammer. It's effectively all square, and 2 ends gone. Great 2 attacking ends of curling. So
and good shots played by both teams. So both teams are going to be feeling quite confident. No one's so far having a nightmare. The weight's been there. The draws haven't been too far away.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get another classic game here.
yeah.
As it should be. You said that was a great shot.
That was a great end of curling.
Yeah.
That was a great shot to start the ball rolling, but I think Torger's last stone set the end up, turned it around. Like you say, it was advantage Brewster for most of that. And then he came away with a shot that not only removed the yellow, but effectively won the end.
Yeah.
Great attempt.
Yeah, it was good. Good shots, good stones. So we're off. The time clocks do help things keep moving along, which is great, but neither of these teams are wasting any time. Their players are ready to go in the hack, and that's as it should be. Time clocks or no time clocks, people get into a habit, I think, of playing slowly and not being ready, and it's not good for the game. It's not good for anyone watching, and it's not good when you're playing if your opposition is taking an age to do everything, make decisions. So it's much better when the game moves along at a decent pace.
Yeah, these two teams have played in so many Worlds, Europeans and Top Slams that they're used to being on the clock all the time, and it's almost you'll see Havard already in the hack while that stone's going down, so as soon as that stone starts you'll see him sliding out.
Yeah. It's looking a little bit deep, maybe.
Deep and high as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cut a lot in the house there. Yeah.
And actually, that was kind of the problem in the last end as well, wasn't it, for Brewster? Hammy just came in a couple of feet too deep, so he's going to want to just take a little bit of pace off and try and find that T weight or top 4 weight anyway. Give the boys a chance to sweep it if needs be, but when you're throwing fully T, they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, Havard Pettersson wasn't happy with the release there. There's something went wrong in his delivery stride, but he seemed to get it away okay. If that's his worst throw of the day, he's got to be happy.
Yeah.
It was entirely what his skip asked for.
12.
Yeah, maybe this is going to be a slightly more sedate end where just both teams calling the kind of tap backs, which
Yep.
Ross is obviously feeling the heat. He's down to the t-shirt. So he's going to hang in at the back ring there.
Yeah, maybe Ross just happy to show off the sponsors logo a bit, realising he's on the web stream and happy to get the sponsors' brands out there.
They're well sponsored. They're lucky boys to have such good sponsors. As is the competition. We've got great sponsors for the Masters. Much appreciated it is too. Who are our title sponsor today, Rob?
Held out high there, isn't it? Yeah, we've been fortunate where coverage is brought by the Champions Curling Tour in association with the Gruyere of Switzerland, Gruyere Cheese. Obviously the title sponsor, Mercure City of Perth, have been committed to the competition for over 20 years now, which is terrific. Perth and Kinross Council also very supportive, and with Active Leisure and Perth Honda. Terrific to get so many local companies engaged into the sport, and to get our tie-up with the Champions Curling Tour has been fantastic as well. It's allowed us to get the production that you're seeing all over the world.
It's 41 years of the Masters. You know, it's significant that the sponsors have been around for big portions. I think when you get a sponsor that's happy to stay committed to an event, what a difference it makes. You know.
Yeah, I think hopefully too it shows that it's working for the companies as well, that they're getting proper feedback from their sponsorship. So the sport really does, you know, we're in the entertainment business here, and if it ties in well with their brand, then the guys are getting something right. So it's great that there's a partnership agreement.
Yeah, it's good for both. So that's a little bit deep. This end, the guys are clearly taking a little bit of a breather. We've had a rip of a guard, and now we're going to have a straightforward hit of this stone. So we're not getting quite so much going on as we have in the last couple of ends, but that's understandable.
Yeah, I guess once Ulsrud played pretty much the perfect defence with his first stone, put it 1 inch shy of the house, made it very difficult for Team Brewster to create a 2. He probably had a go, went a little bit deep, and then Ulsrud wasn't prepared to take any chances. So I guess they'll run the end out here, and unless there's a mistake, a half error, a hit and roll, and suddenly there might be a chance of a corner guard, but that'll be the only way we see anything happen now.
Yeah. Will we see a freeze attempt here, do you think?
I like the corner guard, but maybe it's too late now.
Are we on Glenn stones?
Quick, me. Going to hit it anyway.
I think Glenn has removed himself from the field of play for a moment. We won't, I don't think we need any further description than Tom gave us there.
Yeah, there's no doubt in the team's mind that they were going for a hit there. I wondered about throwing a corner guard maybe, but they don't want a 1 here, and that's effectively the risk of throwing the corner too late in an end.
Yeah.
Took on Ulsrud, might have gone round it, and Brewster might have been forced to just take a 1, which obviously all square without the hammer isn't the position he wants, even at the third end.
He'll be happy to blank this, get back on the evens, score on the evens, and take his 2, maybe force the 1, and that would be the plan. I would guess.
Yeah, for sure that's the strategy. But Brewster's a past master of scoring on the evens and trying to engineer the hammer for the last.
Yeah. They're throwing a fair bit of weight here, aren't they, at single hits? But I suppose when the ice is moving as much as it is, that they're as well to keep the weight up. They know what they're gonna get. Then they're gonna get a fairly straight running stone that they can control. So they don't want to overdraw and miss throwing a sort of hack barrier weight when there's no guards in play.
Yeah, the other thing that's probably going through the team's mind is they are on the clock, like we discussed earlier, so this will probably buy them some more thinking time later on in the end. So end 6, 7, 8, when the strategy is more important, they'll have more time to call. there's no timeouts here like you would probably get at the Worlds and Europeans, so they're trying to buy themselves a bit more time.
Yeah, they're certainly racing through this end.
Also gives them a chance just to size up a bit more of the ice as well, where there's a little bit less pressure on these rocks.
Interesting that they're they're sticking with the one sweeper kind of scenario, although we're all on the same pads, but I guess just giving the other sweeper excuse me, a little bit of a breather and feeling that they're not needing to panic on these hits anyway. They're just wanting to make sure it's being kept clean and a kind of heavy clean, I suppose they would call it, wouldn't they, when they've got one sweeper. Although this one, they're working a little bit harder.
Yeah, I guess if the theory is that directional sweeping can move the stone one way or the other, then if you've got two sweepers, the second one is negating the direction that the first one's doing. So no matter what pad you've got, although it might not react like the more abrasive pads, the second sweeper isn't helping, certainly in these takeouts. So that's the theory. I can't get it to work on a Super League night, but these guys can.
Yeah. I don't know, Robbie, your Super League campaign's going well this season, is it not?
Yeah, it started badly.
We started well and have fallen away badly. But that's for another day.
Good. It's good, aye.
Yeah, both teams were quite content with that end. It was pretty defensive, but once the end started in a defensive way, neither team wanted to pick up the mantle and go for it. I think we'll probably see Brewster try and go for his two now. Like you pointed out, Mary, he likes to score on the even end, so he's trying to get hammer on 4, 6 and 8. And perhaps Ulsrud will maybe see him attack more here and try and get a force to one so that he can wrestle the hammer back from him. That's the strategy that at the moment we're seeing.
Looks like this one's coming into the house though, does it?
I'm thinking he'll go for that 6 inches short of the rings like his last one and make Brewster create it.
Torger's giving nothing away. We can't really tell from his body language what they're going for. The guys are...
Yeah, pretty good. 1 inch short. Perfect.
Oh. See, that's when you've got an inexperienced sweeper like Thomas Ulsrud. He was just too keen there and taking it in a wee fraction further than they wanted to.
But I think we're right. He's gone for the intern corner guard.
I think Hammy's maybe overthrown this by the...
They could have...
By the response of the sweepers.
They could have hit that front one, but they called for the corner guard instead.
Hey?
Yeah, it's too deep. So changing the strategy.
Yeah, that's a long way deep.
Team communication showing no doubt there what they wanted.
Yeah, we were saying they're communicating more. Well, there certainly was no lack of communication there about what Glenn perhaps thought about it.
So Ulsrud happy to hit and stick, 2 in the house. Brewster will want to avoid the force end here, so he's got to be positive. You've got 6 stones to come. Can he defend his way out of this? Still going corner.
Yeah, I still think through it.
Yeah, well, that sums up the strategy from Glenn there. They're not panicking. They still think they've got a good chance of the 2 if they can get a corner guard up.
Sorry, Rob, if you're flying solo there for a moment to deal with my cold issues. Yeah, it's early enough, and yeah, Hammy's maybe struggling with his weight just a little bit.
It's as good as falling over that.
Yeah, he had a bad slide and probably just tried to overcompensate a bit.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed with that. No one, you don't try to throw it a couple of feet harder than it needs to go, and this is certainly not going to help Team Brewster get out of this end
Lead forwards, yeah.
according to their plan anyway. But you know,
Whoa!
sometimes you have to adapt and make the best of the situation. So there are enough stones that, you know, a couple of good stones from his teammates, and that can make up for his slight errors. And they've got a half shot there from their opposition, so they're no worse off.
Yeah, I mean, Brewster's got hammer, he's got control of the end. It's just he didn't want to only get a 1 here, so he's going to try and get away with a blank now for sure. I don't think we're going to see too many risks. But if he can get a hit and roll across behind the centre red, Ulsrud has to play a shot, and Brewster will still get a blank out of this potentially.
Yeah, all the stones now, you know, for both teams, but you know, especially for Team Brewster, they're going to need to play 100%. They're not going to get away with any half measures in the rest of the end.
Go.
That was a good try from Ross, just not quite as much of a roll as they would have hoped for, but certainly brings play back to the centre there and lets them have these reds will be close enough together that it can maybe run a double, or you know, and try and escape.
Yeah, Christopher's far. He'll be trying for the hit and check back out to the wing, try and keep the two stones apart.
Yeah.
A lot more controlled weight than what he's been throwing earlier on in the game.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right there. They want to plop in behind that front red, so yeah, that's pretty good attempt again, but we might see Team Brewster try and run the double here.
He's certainly got a chance here. Must admit, I'm surprised Ulsrud went for the Team Ulsrud, went for the hit and check back behind it.
You'd have thought out to the wing might have been maybe they're looking to try and force a steal, though, you know, or to nip a steal here, you know, which they're going to need the stones in the centre to do that. So if Team Brewster don't make this double, then they might have the chance to try and guard that, or put a little bit more pressure, and the boys are having to work this one from the hand. So
it looks pretty good to me.
Well, I think that's better, isn't it? You know, it's move play again away from the centre. So worst case scenario, Tom's going to have space to deal with a last stone, but a slight corner there, and Team Ulsrud's red is out in the open. So yeah, I think they might be able to develop this a little bit further.
Oh, I think they'll be delighted with the corner guard up there now. Although it's still looking like a force end, there's a great chance of a 2 if they can get one round that.
Yeah. Weight's looking good here. The sweepers aren't overly concerned. It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be too heavy. So, end of the day, they'll be happy if they get 2 in the house and no double opportunity obviously laid on. But it's coming deep enough. So yeah, no double. But I think Tom Brewster will not be too unhappy at this point.
Get it that right over.
Yeah, he's 2 options, so he's got the hit and flop behind the guard. If it's going to over curl on him, he can come right back on top of the deep red at the back quarter of the house.
Yeah.
I saw how his hit curled down here. You got that?
I should not. I wouldn't have thought so.
You need all of that to get over there. Right. That's the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're
That's
right.
plan
Tom.
A.
Exactly. You want to throw control? Yes. That's me on late and I said control.
Yeah, you can tell when an end's not going according to plan, things get a little bit more heated, and that's when they've got to try and just keep it calm and just go for each shot at a time and not get carried away with the fact that things aren't going according to plan.
Great shot.
Do you think they feathered the guard?
I think they must have done, because he should have been able to get the inside and check, and he's shaved the guard. He must have just got a rub.
Yeah, I think it must have rubbed the guard, and that's what put it back offline.
Very close to being perfect.
Yeah. At least they managed to hold the shooter there, so Team Ulsrud are having to make a play on this, and again, Brewster will be hoping for a roll out where.
Well, you know what? Even if he does hit and stick this in the nose, I think Brewster might be tempted to go around the corner guard, and then there's still a chance of a 2, because it's going to be difficult to defend the force if this nose hits.
Yeah. Certainly.
I mean, that's a raking double to try and make. Yeah, I like coming round there. This is what you've played the whole end for. You played for the opportunity of getting round a corner. The two reds are...
We're still on Glenstone, so...
Tom! Can I split the top and lie two?
No.
Well, I don't think you would. I don't think you would get first and second. I think that.
That's
I think
plenty.
the come round is the call. Yeah, it's quite a noisy sheet, or the whole ice rink seems to be noisy today.
Yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere out there. A lot of
Yeah.
atmosphere, a lot of tight games, a lot at stake at this end of the competition now. The qualification games are getting towards the business end.
Some of the teams are in last chance saloon, aren't they? So
Yeah.
they're fighting hard.
Yep,
Right,
line!
what have we got here? The line seems to be needing it for.
Yeah, he's just
Hard
a bit...
line!
I think he's a little bit shy of weight.
Yeah, it's just the weight that's killed him there.
Oh, that's really not ideal.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Why are we...
Yeah, no, that certainly was not ideal.
He got himself in two minds there. He was thinking about the split too early, and the split wasn't really the call. The call was coming around it. He was talking about, is the split a decent alternative? And once they got set in their head, the split wasn't an alternative. He threw it light because he was avoiding the split weight. He wanted to be just be T weight, and he took too much off it, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
You've got to be clear in your head when you sit in the hack, not think of too many options. Suddenly now, from it looking like a force end, it could be a steel end.
Yeah, this is again, we talked about it earlier, and how quickly it turns around on one or two stones, and that stone from Glen really needed to be in play to give Team Brewster any chance of making the kind of score they want. And as you say, if Thomas gets round here, then the job becomes much more difficult for Tom Brewster. So the weight's looking quite deep here, and this opens a door back up again for Team Brewster. We've got half shots being made by both teams at this point. So Tom's going to try and come round top four, and again that turns things back into his favour and perhaps makes it a little bit more likely that he might make a two. I think at this point he'd be quite happy to get away from this end with making his one. It's not looking so good, but that was a real mistake there from Thomas Ulsrud to throw it right into the back 8 foot there. That would not have been what he was hoping for. No,
certainly very deep, Mary. It's just given Team Brewster just a chink of a chance here getting out of this.
If he can throw top four, as we said in the first end, that would have, when Thomas Ulsrud was looking to throw top four, it kind of closes the door a little bit for. That looked a very positive throw. Back 8 isn't the call. Wow, that was a strange slide there, wasn't it? And
yeah.
I don't know whether their end of hitting has polished up the ice a little bit, but it certainly seems to have been a bit much faster this end than they were expecting. But that looked like a very positive throw out of the hand, and again, this end has swung back and forward with almost every stone played, and it seems that no one wants to score this end.
Well, it's interesting. Every draw has been a 10th too heavy, isn't it? Hammy's two draws, Thomas Ulsrud's first draw, and then Tom Brewster's first draw there as well. Just a 10th too hot.
Yeah. So best case scenario for Team Brewster now is the 1. They're not going to want to give up a steal, I would have, and go 2 down.
Great chance for Thomas Ulsrud here, just to go top the 4, top the 1 foot even, with a bit of cover there.
Yeah.
Just composing himself.
And he knows, he just needs to take that couple of feet extra running off. So he's thrown this line, so it should be closer this time.
Hold there.
He's reckoning he's He's all there again. The sweepers are stepped right back from it. So
that looks hot again. I mean, the one thing is he's got the yellow to check it, but
wow, this looks heavier than Tom's almost.
Yeah, it's going to curl. That'll save him.
Yeah, actually the weight's coming right off it with the curl. So yeah, 2 feet again, just too heavy. Tom can follow that down.
Same line, eh?
It's been a really interesting end, even though there's been half stones, the odd mistake here and there. It's still swung like a pendulum. 1 minute it looked like there was an opportunity for the 2, 1 minute it looked like the force, and here we are back at the force end again.
Yeah. It was even looking good for a steal at one point. We've had all the options on the table, but
Could still be a steal.
it could. We'll say nothing, and it would be a steal of. Well, we'll see. That looks a nicer throw.
No line, no line!
The boys seem happier
backing.
with the
Whoa!
weight.
No backing!
Oh, the boys are thinking
No backing!
it needs to draw.
Yeah, it's the steal. Yeah, there's just a quicker track there. It's caught them all out, I think. I mean, even both of Thomas Ulsrud's stones were a bit hot, and like you said, it was a clean throw out of his hand. There was no release.
I guess Thomas Ulsrud was maybe able to take a little bit less ice because he wanted the bury, where Tom Brewster had to be out far enough that he wasn't going to be in any danger of the guards, and it just didn't finish.
Yeah.
The same way that Thomas Ulsrud's stone had.
I think Thomas Ulsrud's second stone maybe caught the slide a little bit and slowed it down. It seemed to draw a lot, and that took the weight off it, where there's a fresh bit of ice there that hasn't been played on. I think it's a bit quicker than the other bits, and I think that's what's caught them all out, all the players out.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting now.
Yeah, they're going to have to. I don't think they can wait for the even ends now.
No, they've got to
Team
go
Brewster,
for it.
they've got to make their 2 in this end, and then try and get a grip back on this game, because they have seemed to be in control in a couple of the ends, and both teams have been playing well. So yeah, we'll see how this develops, but it's Brewster's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah,
You're not going to get many chances. Sorry, Rob, talking over you, but you're not going to get many chances from Team Ulsrud.
No, they're in control of the game now, so it's really up to Team Brewster to throw some corner guards and try and get a 2 back. If they can get their 2 back, then it's all square. It's still plenty of time in the game. We're only halfway through the game.
Absolutely, it's not time for. We don't need any panic stations or anything like that. We just need young Hamilton to find his weight a little bit and set the ends up. I think that's where how often do we say it? If the leads don't put them where you want them, then you're really your back's against the wall from word go.
Yeah, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't play the shots, then the strategy goes out the window. So it's really important to get these corner guards upright.
Look at that one draw.
Yeah. Once the weight's there, the stones curl.
Yeah, that's a nicer shot there.
Perfect.
From young Hammy, he'll be happier with that. That'll hopefully settle him down a little bit, and the end Tom can now call the game, or the end that he wanted to be calling. So we should see a more attacking end again.
6! Rufford!
6 er bra! Linje er bra! Bra linje!
Team Ulsrud, of course, very experienced. They've been in these situations many times. They're not probably curling as often as they were 4 or 5 years ago, but they're still winning a high percentage of their games. They've been selective in the tournaments. They're obviously great supporters of the Champions Curling Tour, playing all the European events and saving themselves for big worlds, big Europeans, and this will all be part of the build-up to the Olympics in 2018.
Yeah, the team have played together for so many years. They don't need to be out week in, week out, playing together just to get those the stones under the belt. They've got that. They've done all that hard work, and this year they can, as you say, pick and choose a little bit more, and maybe fit with the rest of their lives and their commitments that they have. So
Line's good. Ross is
this is looking like a nice looking shot. If we can drag it on a little bit further. Oh, super stones
Great
there.
shot.
Yeah, good stones from young Hammy.
I think if anything, Norway were guilty maybe there of being too precise. They were trying to get the two stones together in the house, and they've almost left them too good. They've left a wee nest for Team Brewster. The dilemma the Norwegians are chatting about there is, do we try and make a play on that yellow, which looks in a prime position, or do we take the corner guard off when we get the opportunity? I think most teams would be favouring taking off the corner at the moment.
Yeah, the tap of that red is a precision shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you don't make that. You're leaving the corner. You're leaving the yellow there for Team Brewster to use. So this is a quite a crucial call. Although it's early in the end, I think that maybe the difference of having Torger in the head, you know, Thomas might have been a little bit more. I don't know, just ready to make the call, where this is now getting a little bit of a discussion, and they'll be glad that they saved some time in that previous end, because you wouldn't be wanting to have this level of discussion on the second stone.
I think it just shows the importance of the strategy here, that really it is a classic dilemma. So Team Brewster's got to be happy with the way the stones are set. That yellow is going nowhere, and actually in many ways the yellow is defending the corner guard. I think as we see this end progress, the left-hand corner guard is going to come into play there. And this is all about how many stones can you use up before we go around it. I think the corner guard's coming off. My Norwegian's not that good, but...
Well, it's a great shame that Norwegian isn't one of the core subjects at school, because we're pretty much in the dark to pick out anything of what they're saying. But yeah, I think if it was me, I would take the corner. That's the one that at the end of the day is going to cause you any bother. You'd like to think that you can do something throughout the rest of the end that's going to negate the yellow there in the top of the 12-foot. But the corner guard, I would have thought, was the danger shot.
Can we restart then?
Yeah, Torger doesn't like it. He wants to start again.
But that's the difference, you know. Hammy's made his first two stones of the end, and that puts all the pressure back on Norway to think, right, what are we going to do about this? And actually, Team Ulsrud have their two stones kind of where they wanted them. So even getting two shots where they wanted them, they're now having to play a strategy that they didn't really want to play, because the stones were made and the corner guard's coming off.
Yeah, I think Torger just messing with the commentary team there. Side up for a tap back.
Have they just replaced it with a corner on the other side? Yeah.
Are we coming around that?
Well, you've got to, you know, you'd have been coming round your corner if it was left on with the yellow. I think you have to do the same again here.
Yeah, the one thing is that he's got to make sure he's deep. The way the yellow's lined up in the front red, if he just goes T, then a nose hit on the yellow then drives it back onto the one there. So you've got to watch that. I think it's not ideal for Ulsrud to have a corner guard up, but at least it's on the right side now.
Yeah, and it's his colour.
Yeah.
You know, so if it has to be getting driven in towards the end of the end, then you're always happier to be putting in one of your own stones rather than the opposition's.
Got to make these shots though. If you're the team that's playing catch up, you've got to make every shot.
Yep.
They've created the opening. They've got to make sure that they can deliver it.
The guys are thinking this needs it for.
Gotta go! Fucking speak to me like that.
Well, that was a little bit tight a line, whether Ross was inside there or whether it just wasn't enough ice.
Yeah, I mean, the weight might not have been that far away actually. The weight might have been top 8 foot.
Yeah, they certainly could have dragged it. You know,
Yeah.
they could have swept it a little bit further on.
Halt treff!
Again, half shot just when they didn't need it really.
Yeah, they had to make sure that it's left a double guard. It's still left Christopher Svard the double appeal.
Yeah, I guess it was better there than right out the
Good
back
shot.
ring, but Christopher's dealt with it. in the way that he would have wanted to.
Yeah,
so
he's the master of the peel, but
yeah,
still stones up there though.
yeah.
Ross has got a chance to come round if he's a similar weight, gets the line right this time.
Yeah, I don't think the weight was too far away, as you say. He certainly doesn't want to be any lighter. If we're getting a big swing on this side too, then it's going to need a little bit of weight, excuse me, to hold it up. So we'll see what the boys think of this. Out of the hand there. They're on it again. I think this is looking tight for line again, Rob.
Yeah.
They're not getting, they're just not getting the, whether it's the weight or the line. That's not, yeah, the weight again isn't disastrous, but and Glenn's just getting a little bit uptight. I think he's needing to maybe just take a deep breath and.
Yeah, the problem with where that's landed is it's left the nose hit takes both reds and leaves that yellow exposed, but then Brewster can split the house and get his 2, so
yeah. The I mean, there were worse places it could have ended up, but I just think the guys are needing an end where everyone kind of does their job, settles them down a little bit, and I think, you know, you said earlier what, you know, the importance of this game, and it is a big game, but they need to not lose sight of the fact that we're only halfway. You know, you play the scoreboard, you just keep
just ignore all that, like
playing away, and we're not needing to be panicking yet. I think that's the danger, isn't it? You start to try and grasp, you know, try and just, instead of playing their way back into the game, they're just trying to force it a little bit, and that's when things go awry.
There's still a very good chance for a 2 here. There's not too much danger for them. The yellow that's there is pretty welded on. If they can lift the double on the reds at the front here, takes the centre away. Yeah, pretty good effort.
Yeah, that's
You've got a stone to come around.
Fine for them. I think the worst case scenario for Team Brewster here was that there weren't stones in play, and they've got stuff, you know, they've got the guard out there, they've got yellow in the house. There's definitely work that they can do to manufacture their 2 here, so hopefully we'll see a couple of good stones from Tom and another one from Glenn, and then we'll see if they can make a 2 here. Would be great. Tie the game up, and then see how it all pans out. So this is tight for line.
Of course, Team Ulsrud are doing the opposite. They're trying to get the force end here, keep Brewster to a 1 even.
Maybe even a steal.
Maybe the steal. Wee bit deep maybe for the steal.
Yeah.
That's pretty good there.
They were worried about the line on that one, and they actually passed the guard by quite a comfortable distance. So, but it's ended up exactly where they want it.
What way do you want to play? Do you want to throw the same line?
This is when I get a little bit frustrated, you know, when they start. I don't think this does the team any good. We were talking earlier about the communication being good and them looking much more settled, and I think that's when there's not too much chat about what weight you want, and I would rather that they knew what weight they were just going to play, and the brush went down, they made a decision on the weight, and I think when they start calling the options, I think that's when there can be the confusion, or not confusion, but, you know, just not set in your mind what you're playing. And, that's kind of worked out okay, but it.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad throw. They were pretty happy to hit and stick. It's curl the hair too much, and they've just got the hit and clear, but at least it's left the corner guard up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be hoping for half stone from Thomas to give Tom Brewster an option.
Yeah, Thomas has been maybe a little bit deep with some of his draws, so you know, Team Brewster will be happy if they see another one slipping behind the tee, give them something maybe to nestle against or work with. So
yeah, he's out on the out a little bit wider. The way that Yellowstone's finished, it's pushed the Norwegian team a bit wider on the fresher cut ice. This might run a wee bit hotter, so might still see outside chance of a 2 here yet.
yeah, or a wee bit straighter. We've seen that in some of the games, that out in the 12 foot it just doesn't pull
Tight.
quite so much, and
Yeah.
they're on it
Tight,
early.
Linda.
So whether that holds it up,
Å,
Ja,
linje,
hva
bra! Bra linje!
They like
Bra
it.
linje!
they think it's good line.
Bra linje! Bra linje! Litt tight! Litt tight hvis du kan.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Bak ti.
But he's back tee again. In fact, he's
Yeah.
really quite deep.
I think that is the difference. I think they forced him further out
Yeah.
onto the fresher pebble, and it just runs a bit quicker where there's been less stones on it.
The sweepers had a little go at it too, so they clearly
not
didn't
gonna
think
let
that
to,
it was going as deep as that.
What if we hit the front one?
Glenn working that as far as he could to get it back, but
Just got to go dead.
so they're coming round.
I think the state of play, they've got to come in behind. There's not an awful lot of benefit hitting the front one, which was the other option that they talked about.
Same line then.
I think it's a great opportunity to come round on the outturn actually.
It'd almost be off the sheet. I think they're better coming that way.
Ooh.
No, I don't mind that because
Well,
there's certainly options. Like, I mean,
I just wonder, you come out turn
just if it
and it
sticks
sits
out,
out
you've
half
got
a
to
stone, it's jamming on the back
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
back
almost would
red.
rather it sticks out this side. Oh yeah.
If you come
Which means
if
we've
you
got
come
to
in turn,
And you over.
yeah, it might potentially leave
Yes.
Ulsrud the hit and check behind the cover again.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you've got an awful lot of room to play with on
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
you're drawing off
It's
your,
your-
cover.
it's
You've,
your preference.
I
Totally, because it doesn't really matter what turn we throw.
yeah, I think Glenn's right though. You know, Tom has to throw
Aye.
the hand that he feels comfortable throwing.
She's going to play the run. Well,
yeah, I think this is a more consistent track. We saw that
Yeah,
going
I
out
mean,
on
if we
that
stick
wide
out
stuff,
this
it's
side's
pretty
okay.
slick
If we
and it
stick
might
out
not
this side,
curl.
we're in trouble.
Whereas this is a bit they've been playing on ends 1 and 3, so I think they'll be more happy with the track here.
This is where Ross's overdrew though, wasn't it, down this
Yeah.
early in the end? So I hope they've got enough, but we don't know. Maybe it was a little bit soft on release, or
line's good.
Line's good!
so they think the line's all
Top
there,
four,
but
guys!
it's beginning to draw now.
Line's
Yeah.
good!
Just needs it.
They're having to work
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Come
just-
on, Hammy, hard! Hard! Come
Oh.
on, boys, gotta go!
Well, you know,
It was a great line. It was just
a great line. It
a
was
shade light, that was
just-
all.
Yeah, couple of feet.
Harder than. I think the red shot.
I'm not sure. I think it might be yellow.
Yeah, I'd be.
Max ice. If it'd been the right way.
Vi skal ikke bare dra.
You know what? They possibly could have had. They could have been doing with
Right.
maybe a couple of inches
Right.
more ice, couldn't they?
Yeah. Although it's feathered the guard. If he's
Hvis han slår da
top
den
4
ned,
weight there, it's getting
så blir
past.
den dårligere enn den.
Yeah, but it's going to continue drawing once it was going past the guard. So
Yeah, you think it might
I think
be
you
out
were
the other
maybe going to
side.
pop out the other side if you'd been fully T-weight. You know, if you'd come past that guard, that's obviously as close as getting past. But you know, I think it could have
Vi kan ikke
overdrawn.
slå her.
A couple inches
Det er
might
så
have been
mye som kan gå gærent hvis du slår her.
might have been useful.
Ja, du vil
but
ikke by-
It's
du vil
certainly
ikke by
making them
det
think
hele
again,
tatt,
and
tenke på det
you know,
engang.
making them play a shot. So that's all you can do, isn't it?
Nei, det er ikke
It's
noe
quite a
tenke
crucial
på.
call
Det er
here.
eneste ballen er å
If
dra.
red's line, they're happy to come round and go for the steal.
Yeah.
If yellow's line, they've got to make a play in it.
So they must think it's red.
Although if he makes this, gets round, could be academic, whichever one is anyway, and
Yeah.
Brewster will only be left to draw to it if he gets it right.
Nei, køller på slutten. Svak
Yeah,
baller
because even
ute.
if say it was right round and he could play the race, it's still only for one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spiller jeg noenlunde lik fart.
So we'll see. Thomas has been a little bit heavy with these draws, so it'll be interesting if he can throw T-weight this time, or top 4 maybe.
I think this is all about getting a hide. I think as long as he's hidden, he's not too worried if he's back four this time.
Linja bra! Värme, vi må forbi! Ja, kom igjen, hard! Ja, så langt dere får den! Ja, litt til.
Yeah, he's quite happy to be back there. It's just the force end for him now.
Yeah.
Har du giffet for noe for to? Han smøg. Så du det køller, eller?
So Tom's really not got any other option than to just
Aye, you're right.
outdraw that, I think.
Yeah.
It should be us.
If he was lying two, could he come round and get enough of that one to tap
Should
it back?
be us.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to move it
Should be us, Ross.
far, and like you said earlier, the ends are quite
It's
quick.
not the easiest draw in the world. He's squeaked by there.
Yeah, I think he's only got a draw. I don't think he can come round that and tap it back. It probably jams in the back.
Well, that's
red
the
anyway.
back red is there that causes
It's
the.
there.
It's a half stone for two.
It's just we've got to buy in to play it.
All right, so they're thinking the double off
Or
the.
there. That's not an easy draw.
The draw's not a given either.
No, because he squeaked by that to get to there. We've got to split the tee. Yeah, I know.
I know, I'm not too concerned about that scoreline to be up the scoreline to be
Normal
honest.
like that?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to cut?
I think it
You
might.
want the throw out turn, aye? Yeah.
Well, do you know what them turns do?
Well, we threw the throw through.
So what they're discussing here is that
I didn't
they've
think
got an
so.
outside chance of a two, so they should be going for it. The one they think's not really ideal for them to go 3-2 down without the hammer when they could go all square here.
You know, I suppose if you're thinking it's the A-Road final, you do what you can to win this game. You take, you know, the risk and rewards that are there for you, and if this doesn't work, he loses another one. They're still, you know, they're still in the game,
Yeah.
and they're going to have another bite at the cherry anyway. So maybe, you know, I could see this being worthwhile.
Close. Yep.
Seem to like it.
It certainly looks. Oh, yes and no is always good, isn't it?
Oh, great attempt.
Oh.
It was made. Yeah, that's definitely one.
That's a shame because
Yeah, just overcurled on them a wee bit, didn't they?
This
They,
is
they
out,
needed it
yeah.
a bit thinner.
just needed to keep the sweepers on it.
This is away.
Yeah, they'll just maybe stick a stick on that. It is close. I think we're all of the view we think it's the yellow, but quite right. It's close enough to have a check on it.
Yeah, we can maybe give a wee update on what's happening on the other sheets at the moment then, since we've got a little bit of downtime here on this game. Coast versus Seek on sheet H. They're very handily standing in front of the scoreboard, so can't really see what's happening there, but they've certainly got a lot of stones in play, so that would look to be maybe quite a tight game. Taylor versus Bryce. That looks like it's pretty tight at maybe 3-2
I think it's yellow.
for Bryce.
Yeah, but it's.
Why? All the guys are standing in front of the scoreboard. It's really not handy. Brunner versus Ramsfell's all over. That was a good win for Brunner. And
Oh, it's very, very close. But certainly it was the yellow by tenth on the tenth of a millimetre on the
Then it's okay to measure.
on the measure. David
Aye.
Imlay, our local
Aye.
umpire, sorting out the arbitration.
It's only 3 shots, boys.
exactly, that's what they've got to remember. They're still, you know, they score a 2 here. They're right back in it.
Yep.
It was worth going for. And a little bit of sweeping and it would have been a 2. So
Yeah, it was a risk and reward, wasn't it? You played
Yeah.
a hard shot for a 2.
2 or 3.
The draw wasn't an easy shot, but if they'd gone for the draw and got it wrong, they would have kicked themselves. So
I think we're going to get a
We
word
made
with Thomas Ulsrud
Aye.
during
Otherwise,
this
it would
end.
go.
I think we'd have made it if we hadn't woes. Like,
So controlling the game to Team Ulsrud. Maybe be able to catch a word with Torger. Torger, things going well down there? You seem to have got control of the game there. Yeah, you manufactured the end well. The boys aren't doing an awful lot wrong at the moment. Team Brewster chasing you a little bit.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky in breaks a couple of times, and in the fight game, that's what you need. So for the moment, we're looking good.
The ice good, Torger. We noticed that some of the tracks seem to be running a bit quick.
It's a little bit tracky and it's a bit quick.
Yep.
It was quicker now than in the beginning of the game, for sure. But it's all good. It's not a problem. It's club ice, and it's good club ice.
Yeah, great to see the attacking curling. And are you enjoying being on the head there? You must be enjoying the lack of sweeping you're having to do.
Yeah, I'm getting old, you know. Thomas is getting even older, but he's fit.
No, it's interesting to see how strong a team you are. That when one of you is carrying an injury, you can swap things around, and it doesn't seem to affect your performance at all.
No, it's not a big thing. We've been playing together for probably 100 years or something.
Yeah.
In the huset! If I'm holding the broom or Thomas is, it's just the same.
Sorry, I'll let you play your shot.
Yeah.
Yes, the Team Brewster played a good corner guard, trying to take the initiative away from the centre to create a two.
Sju!
Han setter seg.
Ikke ved siden av, I hvert fall.
Han setter seg. Vi er på siden av I fart.
Ja, T-line nå.
This one's coming quite deep again. Maybe a little deeper than they hoped.
Yeah, it's not bad there. They'll be quite happy. It's keeping the play in the 4 foot to force the play away from the corner guard. So Torger, I've noticed that you played possibly less tournaments this year. You keeping yourselves dry for the big Europeans and the Worlds.
Yeah, well, actually, we're last couple of years we haven't played much, but this year we actually played 1 or 2 spills more. So we're picking it up a little bit, and hopefully we can qualify for the Worlds for Norway and maybe even the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a great indictment to your team that a few less tournaments, but it doesn't stop the intensity. You're still getting some great results. You've had a good season. You've played a lot of finals, and
yeah, we're having some luck so far.
Yeah, you kind of make your own luck though, don't you?
Ta den bare! Pil holder, men kan gjerne pilen av.
That was a nice stone there from young Hamilton again.
yeah, forced the play into the house. The strength of the 2 shots, Team Norway there forced Hamid to come into the house. One just final word, Torger, before you get into the end of this end. You've obviously been a loyal supporter of the Perth Masters and certainly the Champions Tour generally, but it must be great to see so many Norwegian junior teams following you to Perth. There's some cracking juniors coming out of Norway at the moment.
Yeah, they're really enjoying it as well, like playing the top teams. One of the guys was playing Brewster earlier, and they played Murdoch already. And it's big names for the young curlers, and it's I think they can really thrive on the experience.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them, and
absolutely.
Hopefully you're building a legacy behind yourselves while you're still competing at the highest level.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Torger, thanks for the chat.
Thanks.
Thanks. Nice guy.
They're pretty relaxed about the game generally, aren't they? Because they play in a relaxed way, it sometimes helps the dynamics of the team on the ice.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, I think if you get stressed and uptight, then, you know, it's not helping anybody, it's not helping your teammates, it's not helping your own performance. So, you know, these guys certainly have a good attitude towards, you never see them really up nor down, raised or otherwise, you know. Clearly, you know, if they're not pleased with what they've done, but, you know, they don't tend to get out of control with their emotions, which I think that's just what you get from experience and knowing each other so well.
Suppose.
So But this is developing not too badly. You know, they've got Team Brewster have got the advantage of a stone behind the tee. They've got one on the tee and now one in the house. So there are chances again in this end, maybe for Team Brewster to string a few 100% shots together and build this 2 that they've been desperately looking for.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. I think Team Ulsrud are so consistent and they're playing so well that for Brewster to get back in this game, they need to throw 100%, which they have done this end. They've played a good end. They've got this corner guard in the right place. They've got one round.
They're working hard on this one, though. It's maybe... That's in a good spot for them, though. It's maybe a little longer than they wanted, but it's forcing the play onto removing that stone. So that's what they've got to do.
Whoa, rent. Whoa, whoa. Good luck, give me that.
Yeah, we'll see a wee bit of cat and mouse here for a stone or 2.
That was I didn't catch much of that stone to move it so slowly over the other side of the ice. That was a
streaky peel, but it looks the same in the scorebook.
That's it. So they're coming into the house onto this one now, which I think that's the right time.
Well, I think the fact that there's 2 there, I think I might be tempted to throw one more corner, but I think the fact that they've got 2 in the house, they've got to try and make a play in them now.
Yeah.
Again, they're looking for that 100% shot, Meyer, you were talking about. They're calling a freeze. They've got to be absolutely frozen with no bounce.
For sure, but you know, it's the same. Throwing the corner on this ice isn't straightforward either. So you know, you don't make it 100%, and you kind of hand the advantage back to Norway. So they're having to sweep this, but they're.
Yeah, have me in! Let's go hard! Come on, go! Still something! Hard!
This is a little bit shy.
Yeah.
Did they change the call and go back for the guard?
No, I think they called the freeze, but once they realised it wasn't there, they're happy enough to leave it.
That's I'm just not sure what the call was there. That's a long way short for the freeze, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Team Ulsrud are.
It's kind of neither one or the other, because it's ended up not covering their stone in the house.
If it had drawn another foot, you know, it was good, but
they've still got a corner. There's still a chance of a 2, albeit they're now facing 3 in the rings. Good shot.
Yeah, but they've got the long guard, they've got something behind the tee, and they've got something on the tee line. So, you know, I think Glenn's going to have to make this next shot, and then we'll see what can come from it. But you know, you can't be as short as that first stone was, you know, and get anything from it. So. The pressure is firmly on Team Brewster at the minute, I think.
Get the weight. Line's good, Tom. Freeze.
They seem to like it.
Still moving. It's coming along quite quickly, I think.
Freeze it up, guys. Come on, hard. Let it curl.
They don't want much bounce, do they? Oh, that's a good stone. Super shot.
Yeah.
Here, the freeze is just as good as any. It's all right, they know.
Yeah, the boys doing the commentary there, they seem happy for it. Glenn's saying it was a tough shot to call, but it's at that point in the game, you're 4-1 down, you've got to take the tough shots on and go for it.
Absolutely. You know, and Tom was right in a way that it is only third shot, so they're still going to have to play another couple of good shots, hope that Team Ulsrud don't make 100% of their shots, and to have any chance of this too. You know, Tom clearly wanted that move back another foot, which then gives Team Ulsrud the space to manoeuvre the yellow out of the house. So while it's there, it's making it difficult for Ulsrud to remove it, but it still has to be made better by either of Tom's stones.
Well, the thing is, it's a great shot, but
Ja,
it's
det
line third stone.
Jeg
So-
synes vi sitter den. Ja, klart.
Team Norway looking at the guard here, and turning the thing around again.
Well, that's it. They guard up, and Tom has nothing but coming round again, try and get on that back one, and that stone may never come into play. That's the problem, isn't it?
It's very close to being second shot, but I think they are line 2. I think if they were only line 1, I don't know if Ulsrud would throw this stone.
15-1 som har frysen. Ja. Ja. Han kan ikke se noe høl. Altså, vi må krysse. Hele steinen skal akkurat krysse senter, er ideelt. Man må det også, da. Det er jo litt til.
Yeah, it's there, depending what Thomas throws here, there is a chance for Tom to come down and
15-1
tap
hadde jeg på han, da.
the
Mine er
yellow.
glatte, altså, så her skal jeg gi dere. Vi skal ikke... Ja, vi skal
But
ikke gi
none of the shots are going to be straightforward now.
like
They're all
that.
going to be high difficulty, high tariff shots.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for the 2 if he gets this in the right place. It's a great call from Ulsrud. A lot of teams would have been panicking and taking that corner guard off with Torres last, and even now.
Tight linje. Litt tighte.
Tight
To
linje,
be
så!
fair,
Hold
taking the
ut
guard
der!
off now makes it easier
Hold
perhaps
it
for
there.
Tom
Sure.
to do something with his yellow, where they
Over
throw
da.
the guard up here.
That's
Which-
overcurling.
Yeah, that's definitely overcurled a little bit on them, hasn't it? Maybe just the difference, and
Yeah, just the
Thomas
weight.
has been
Skjærer, altså.
throwing a little bit heavier than he would have wanted with his draws, so he's taken perhaps just too much
Over.
off.
If we catch it on the nose.
All right. Right, hold on a second. Let's think about this. What's your theory here?
Well, if we hit that in the nose, that'll be short, eh?
Just play a wee tap, like a 10 weight.
That shot's definitely
No,
on.
no, no.
Because we do that, he's just going to peel it.
Roll under. Here.
Well, we don't want to roll under, right in the beak.
We don't want to see any of the top shot.
They're making our
Then that
job
way
kind
he's
of
only
easy,
getting-
aren't
you can
they?
only
at the
get rid of
minute,
one.
Telling the viewers
If he
exactly what
throws
they're
here
doing.
now, it's not gaining
Well,
us
that's what I
anything.
need for the draw.
Yeah, I think he's right to make a play on the top yellow
Has
and
to.
try and bring that into play now, because if he
No.
plays freeze,
So
then he might not get the chance to do something.
We're playing for here.
We're only pushing it to here.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
pushing
Even
it.
if you can see the top.
They play the
this is going
freeze,
over.
Thomas
Yeah.
freezes them, they're still forced to a 1, and
We're
it's
pushing
again
it
they're
to
going
here,
for
and it's
an
just a
edge of
fracture
the
inside
button to get
nose.
their one, so they have to play this shot. It's a tricky
happy with
shot,
that
but
then?
they have to go for it.
Yeah, they need to
One
move
less.
one of these 2, and certainly if they can move that one, the
Just my normal
2 is going to be really difficult to defend for Team Ulsrud. And there's still going to be an outside chance of a 3 here for Brewster if he can get this absolutely
We've
spot
got
on.
to get to the nose of this yellow.
Yeah. The guards are long enough, they just have to think that they've got the shot there and just relax and throw the line. It's as easy as that.
It's really the same line as Glenn threw, just with another 10th on it. Just enough to pop
then.
the
Whoa,
red
whoa,
out of the
whoa,
4-foot.
Whoa! Whoa! Right off! Left! Tommy! Close!
It needs to
Yep.
curl, but they like it.
Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Certainly looks to be coming now, but not maybe as hard as they want it to.
Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
Well, that's exactly what he said he wanted to do. He's now lying short.
Maybe just a hair light.
Hold
I
tight.
wondered that if they could have popped the red
Vi sitter jo to
out
her,
to
hvert fall,
4th
da.
shot
Men det
rather
her,
than
så
3rd
kan
shot.
vi se innsiden, så han kan doble ned her. Vi må hit,
It would
da,
have
ikke sant?
it would have meant that they might have had
Hold her.
a rip
Så kan se
on
for
the
mye,
double
så
to
kan,
get a 2, whereas
ja.
now really they've got to hit and stick for their 2. Presumably Ulsrud's going to try and come in for 2nd or 3rd shot.
You know what though? If Thomas is really careful about where he puts this, there could be a hit for
I verste fall skriver friser du egen
2,
innsiden av egen,
3.
så
You know,
får
Yeah.
du noe.
it's by no means
Sånn is, da.
easy for Thomas to put this in the right. It could end up in the wrong place for him, couldn't it?
Well, the important thing is that Brewster's line shot.
Yeah.
That was plan A. I think if he could have been line 1st and 3rd, it would have created an easier chance for a 2.
Yeah.
So Team Ulsrud trying to avoid leaving a double on here, trying to get another one in to avoid leaving an easy shot for Brewster to get regulation 2. Just keep them to 1 here would be ideal for Ulsrud.
Let's make it. Det glatt og fint her ennå, ikke sant? Det.
Excuse me, yeah.
The risk and reward here is that
Hæ?
if he tries to be too cute and steal the end, he could leave a triple on for a 3.
Yeah, yeah. He wants to narrow down Tom's drawing.
Classic strategy here, though, isn't it?
Plass, vi har plass til å vente.
Linja bra!
Linja er bra!
Great though, you know, again we saw the Leeds putting the stones where they wanted to be, and that's what
Linja bra!
how the end has been allowed to develop.
Ja!
Hard linje!
Ja! Ja! Harda! Harda! Harda!
Is he going to rub that top yellow?
Yeah, it's on the yellow.
Ooh. Actually, didn't end up too badly.
It's pretty
for
good.
him.
Nå skal vi bedre gå forbi der.
There is a double on there, but he's got to shave the long guard.
Yeah, just slightly in the nose.
I think this is where he's possibly regretting with that first stone not getting the other red out of the 4-foot circle.
Absolutely.
And this shot would have been for a 3, not a 2. But he had to make sure he was.
You're just inside nose.
You know what? At the moment, they would take their 2, wouldn't they? You
All day
know.
long.
So as long as you're by this.
Yeah.
Yeah, nose to just inside. I think if he's absolutely nose, it'll bounce enough
You
out.
can throw either turn, Tom.
There's not enough room on the end.
Well, there is. What ice?
I think he's good staying at the outturn. I know he
Yeah.
prefers the outturn, and they've thrown the outturn down here the whole end, so stay with what you're comfortable with.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa!
You want a shot for 2 at the end of the day?
Yeah, great shot.
Good stones. Well, there were 2 good stones from Tom,
Yep.
and scored their 2, so that's nice. That takes them right back into the game.
A well-worked 2. They controlled that end pretty well. They created it. Hopefully the commentators didn't distract Torger Nergard too much in the head there.
Yeah.
But we've got a game on. Team Ulsrud will be happy. They're 1 up. They've got the hammer back. So the game's still on.
Ja, vi lager høl, men den andre her nå, som jeg kant
It's
8 på.
vital again
Den,
that
for å si det sånn,
young Hammy puts
Nei,
his
den køller
stones
drar med
exactly
stein,
where
så
they need to
pass på å
be,
gi mer is og drag.
because I guess the guys are going to chase maybe a steal here. That was a tricky shot for Thomas, you know. I mean, it was so difficult to put it somewhere that wasn't going to give Tom a shot for 2. But he didn't have an awful lot of room there, and he made it just perfectly.
Yeah, the keystone of the end for me was the freeze by Glenn Muirhead. The minute he got that freeze perfect, Norway were chasing it a little bit. They were under pressure from having to follow it. They almost had to play the identical shot to it, freeze on top, and possibly just give away a 1. Make Tom's draw to the 4-foot harder, and actually what they did by getting the rub off it was create a hit for 2.
Yeah.
So strategy for Team Brewster is going to be
Slightly narrow line.
long guards, cover that centre line and try and make a steal.
Over and off.
Yeah.
Even forced to 1 wouldn't be terrible here. Get the hammer down the last, and 2 down with the hammer isn't a terrible position to be in. But they certainly can't give away a 2, and probably wouldn't want to give away a blank here either. So
No, they're going to need to. They're going to want to force something. They either want a steal or they don't want to.
Viktigste er å bare full 8-fot.
So like Ulsrud have total control, I don't think.
yeah,
Viktigste er full 8-fot, er det ikke det?
Jo.
Ja, men i hvert fall.
So this is looking a little shy of weight, isn't
yeah.
it?
I
Certainly.
think they'll get it there, but
De steinene der er treige, ja.
Yeah, it's not maybe
perfect.
ideally where they wanted it, but it's not far away. It's better there than a foot behind the tee, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Hammy's first one was a bit long, but I think they called the long one first. They're obviously trying to get 2 centre guards up, so
Yeah. I think Tom reckoned that he was maybe a little bit inside the brush, and
Yeah, it's just curled
obviously
up
he
shade too
couldn't.
much.
You know, they couldn't then sweep it, or it was going to bring it too far and
Yeah.
and keep the curl on it. So it then had to be the long guard.
Yeah, they need to be tight this time. The way that Norwegian stone's top 4, they don't want to leave two guards too long.
No, this is looking like a good. Oh,
Doesn't want to be in.
yeah, that's that's not ideal.
It's precision curling. They were trying to be 2 inches short, and they've just overswept it.
Jeg kilte ut noen
That's a shame.
vanlige her I første omgang.
Nergard taking no chances.
Nei, bare gå vanlig opp, solid.
They're talking about do they go tick, but really they've got a chance to remove a guard. They've got to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a shame. It's just literally, you know, a couple of inches, isn't
Easy,
it?
Svan. Easy.
That one maybe got a wee help
make your lap.
outwards. So
Yeah, they're content to spin this time. I don't think they want to leave too many stones lying around, because they still want to keep the option of the blank up their sleeve. If they've got too many stones around, then Brewster's got the chance to try and create something, even for the force, the one against. Brewster wouldn't be too disappointed. Anywhere in that track he's calling. If you're a foot short, it's not disaster. A freeze would be ideal. I think if he goes freeze, Norwegians will take off the long guard, but that would give them the option of putting a better guard on. So I think that would be the strategy behind coming right up to it this time.
yeah, I think you're right there, Rob. But that's not looking very heavy out of the hand there. I think they're going to have to work that one.
Gonna go for freeze, Tom. You're in then.
Yes, Army.
I don't think that's too far away.
No, it's looking nice for
He
weight.
needs to curl a shade, but he's pretty good for weight.
Just needed a wee bit more curl, but yeah,
Yeah.
good weight from Ross there.
I think they had to make sure that it was in the ballpark. They couldn't afford to wait for it to swing, because it was going to come up shy where it was no use to anybody.
Yeah, sometimes you wait a little bit too long, and then
Hard.
It's
the
neither
weight's
one
come
or the
off
other,
stone.
yeah.
And, so that's a long guard away now. So this is, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I think it gives them the opportunity to put a better guard up. It was long and slightly over curled, so the strategy coming into freeze created a better guard. So
Yeah, and Ross will have his weight now from that first stone, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to.
yeah,
to
just a
throw the
tenth
guard.
less.
Halfway. So we need clean only. Clean.
Yeah, nice early call from the boys there, letting
Get
Tom
ready,
Brewster
Harvey.
know that it was
Yep.
halfway. So all he has to worry about is the line here.
Not too tight. Not too tight at all, otherwise it makes it easy.
So they're not just guarding the centre line here, they're also thinking about guarding their own rock in the house as well. They don't want to leave an easy double peel
Like,
on
I'm
those
just
ones in the
thinking your
house.
2 draws 2 ends ago this way.
Yeah, it's a great facility, the online now, isn't it, for watching the curling and letting people who are far afield and even abroad watch what's going on at the Masters here. It's
Terrific,
really
terrific
worked
coverage.
well, hasn't it, the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean the coverage we're getting, the production team are fantastic. It's brought to the Champions Curling Tour with Le Groyer, but the Champions Tour are really embracing online coverage. These are streamed all over the world. We've had great feedback from Canada and America this week, so all over Europe.
I think we're okay, guys.
And it's only thanks to our sponsors, Mercure, Perth Hotel, Le Groyer, Perth and Kinross Council, Live Active Leisure and Perth Honda. So it takes a big team, a lot of partnerships that make this work.
Come on, Mr. Curl here.
Yeah, and it's working well, so you know it's good, and it's nice to have the opportunity to come and watch the curling and do a bit of commentary on it, isn't it?
So the strategy is just the same. The Norwegian team are happy to take that centre guard off. Team Brewster keep protecting the one in the house by throwing the centre. It'll get to the point that Brewster can't throw any more guards. They're going to have to make a play on the red in the house, so it'll probably be with his first. I think Glenn's second stone still needs to be a centre guard.
Yeah, I think so. They're unlikely to get an out-and-out miss from Team Ulsrud. I suppose they know that. They're throwing the guard and they know that it's going to be taken away, but you've still got to go for it. Making a play too early on that red just gives them the opportunity of a double, and then it's
well, I guess what they're really hoping for is a hit and check. Maybe leave a corner guard, and if they can leave a corner, then it might suck Brewster to go in for the nose hit to try and create 2 yellows in the house, perhaps even with one behind a corner, engineer a force end and get them the hammer going down the last. I think that's the best they can hope for.
Seem to have managed to give Tom the cold without even seeing him. Bless you, Tom. Yeah, that's a full-on centre. This time it's not covered in any of the yellow, but they won't be too worried about that. Torger's going to send it packing anyway. Yeah,
there's only one thing in Thomas Ulsrud's mind, and that's to keep the front of the house clear. There's lots of strategies going on here, but really it's all about the hammer going down the 8th end at the moment. That's all the cat and mouse is about.
Do we need to?
So the boys are talking about coming round.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Yeah, I like that. I think as soon as you make any play on those...
Once that's moved, my Christ, it's moving in there. Oh, I know. You'll get shot.
Yeah, I quite like this call because, like Glenn suggested, that you don't have to be 100% buried.
What's the score?
If you can see half, he's probably going to hit the front one anyway.
Yeah.
And then draw to the other side. As long as there's no double on, you create the forced end.
And it's probably going to leave the double.
It's not, you can almost see it all.
Whereas if you hit that...
To be fair, they're not going to want to spend too much longer chatting about it. They've 5...
yeah, we are leaving a double. He's going to have a crack.
We're going to have 5 minutes.
If he misses that one, we just draw the other side.
Yeah, I think get round it though.
Do you like that?
I think it's because it's potentially an easier shot. There's more margin for error. You can go relatively deep. You've probably got about a landing zone of about 4 feet behind those stones that would still be good. You've got to be pretty perfect to remove the red and keep both yellows in play.
Yeah.
And it's a risk I don't think he needs to take at the moment.
I think you go round with your first
yeah.
and see. I mean, I guess they're thinking if they don't make it, then
either that or we're doing this, lay 2 and hope to force.
Yeah, I like.
You like the draw?
No,
I'm easy. No, but I'm easy.
Because if we give up a 2, it's no use.
See, if you sit here, if you sit in the open, it's across the top double. We've got to underbury.
Yeah.
And to do that, we're probably not going to lie shot.
So
that's the problem.
Right, let's lay 2 then. If you like this one, that's fine. Control. You want to go less?
No, control's fine.
Yeah, they had to lie shot. That was a good point he made. They have to lie shot. That was a fundamental must at the moment because it would have left Ulsrud a shot for a 2, which would have been a disaster, really.
Barrier on that!
They don't mind a 1 either way at the moment.
Yeah,
but
force
they don't
is
want
good, but they don't want to give up a 2.
No more!
2 or a blank. They don't want to give away a blank really either, but a 2 would be game over at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's maybe a bit too. It was maybe just a bit too much of a gamble to try the draw.
Right off, left!
Yeah, they're not.
Yep! Yes! Hard!
That's a really, really good shot.
That's great. That's really worked out well for them.
That was right and dead straight.
So that was the game plan, wasn't it? They wanted to be lying to make it a tough double and
try and create a forced end and get the hammer going down the last.
Good stuff.
So just high of centre here, the Norwegians, good chance to double. The one thing about lifting the double here, the way they've left them is it's probably difficult to get the double and roll out. But he'll be happy with the nose hit anyway at this stage.
Yeah. Thomas doesn't miss many hits, does he? You know, he's very accurate on his.
Yeah, consistency of release. I think that's the key, isn't it? He's got a very simple slide. There's not a lot can go wrong with it.
Working this one. Ooh.
Commentator's curse.
Absolutely. So Tom gets to split the house and
Say draw against Stewart. I just don't want to
Four,
present with a
say.
chance of playing some sort of double. Okay.
I think you've just got to put it in the rings, hope that there's not a straightforward double on and that Thomas is going to...
I think he might go for over the top rip, so that's my concern. But
Yeah, so they've called the draw to the top of the 4 foot, so it's not leaving him a nose hit for shot. I think they're trying to leave him a draw the 4 foot against a 2, play the classic force end. The risk is you take it slightly too far or leave it slightly high and leave an easy slash double.
I would go, guys. I would go. I would definitely go.
Oh, this is going to need a lot of sweeping. Oh,
Come on,
heavens.
boys. Come on, it's perfect. Line's perfect. And if you like, Come on for top 4. Come on. Easy now. Yeah, come on. Go, 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 go. Perfect.
Good.
Atta boys.
A good team shot there. Thrown well by Tom and good sweeping by the boys.
Yep, so good weight, able to control it.
Well,
The
I
nose
give
hit in
you
that
up,
stone won't get them shot. The nose hit in either stone won't get them shot. So do they go for skinny double or do they go for the draw the 4 foot?
11 der.
You know, I mean, the thing is, there was nothing more that
Forten er
Team
på,
Brewster could
spør
do
du!
there. They have to put 2 in the
Forten er
house,
på, så er det
and
bare mål!
almost anywhere you put 2 in the house, you're leaving some sort of double. You know that when for players of Ulsrud's capabilities and skill level, you know, it's not an easy shot by any matter of means.
Oh, I
And
think
the boys
Brewster will
have
be
done what
happy
they
with
could.
this. This is a tough shot. It's got to catch it quite thin, almost quarter stone to get the double here. And either way, he'll be thinking, well, if I get one of them out, I've still got the hammer going down the last.
It's going to be travelling as well, so.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa!
Yeah!
Must be close.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, great shot, and gets the blank as well, which is even better for him. Classy shot, classy player.
Brewster take it a little bit too far, just maybe with that last little bit of sweeping. I think it just didn't need it, did it?
Yeah, I think top 8 was fine there, wasn't it? Just a stone's width, maybe.
Yeah.
Han gikk ganske rett, og så
I
tok
think the thing is they were
Jeg setter
trying to be too.
Tre greie alternativer.
You're trying to be too perfect, aren't you? You know,
Yeah.
you're trying to make it as difficult as you can, and certainly they couldn't have done much more. But a good shot there, a perfect shot from Thomas Ulsrud, and it's.
Yeah, they asked the questions of him, and maybe they've not asked enough questions early on in the game. But I mean, really, they played a pretty good end. They got their stones in the right places, and it came down to that last stone, and you know, you can't grudge them a double.
No. So crucial now that for both teams to play, you know, pretty much the 100% end, isn't it?
Well, it's only 4-3. They're only 1 stone in it, although they don't have the hammer. With 1 stone in the game, anything can happen at 4-3.
It's going 2 easy.
You're going to need a steal, or you know,
No.
unlikely
This
that
is
you'll
set out.
maybe steal 2, but you know, it's not impossible. It's a good stone there from Ilhami.
Yeah, so it's interesting they've gone long guard first stone again. It obviously makes the tick harder. If you go with your first centre guard too tight, it's easier to tick. So I think that would be the mindset.
Yeah, or even pop it in the house so you can hit it with the next one, isn't
Plass
it?
var klar. Nei, ja.
Plenty time in the clocks for Team Ulsrud. Brewster, 3 minutes. Should be plenty time. But
Well, you know
certainly-
what you're going to have to do, don't you? You're going to have to throw guards, and you're going to have to then ultimately come round at some point. So as long as the game follows the or the end follows the the plan that you think it will, then you're not going to need to.
Great tech.
Yeah, that's a super shot.
I think Haber Pettersson's probably as good a player in the world at that shot. He's made it a work of art, and he doesn't often miss the tick with his first.
It's experience again, though, isn't it? You know, that's just
Same weight, mate.
knowing that you've made them so often. You don't stress, you don't worry. You just throw the weight and you throw the brush, and if the brush is in the right place, then
Yeah, he knows the weight to throw. That was really just not much more than T weight.
yeah.
The mistake is too many players, I think, throw the hack weight and get no result. Whereas if you're throwing T weight, even if you nudge it, even if you miss it, you go back and you sit top 4. So
Lot of curling to do, guys.
just the swing.
Hey, Ross.
Good weight from Hammy there.
Yeah.
Not bad where it's landed.
Maybe just a foot shorter than Tom was looking for, but yeah, certainly not a disaster by any matter of means. It's
The one thing that is that if they fail to tick it this time, it's left a double. But maybe the red might be a checker rather than a double, which I think is why he wanted it that bit further up. Playing the tick in the same hand, they know what the ice is doing, but it might mean that there's going to be a double guard on the reds on the left-hand side of the sheet.
yeah, playing them at the lighter weight, you're leaving, you're leaving your stone in play. But this one's drawing a little bit more for them.
Right enough, he was ticking over the top this time.
Coming over the face.
Great skill set there, where outturned both times, so they knew the ice, but they just took a shady less ice and played the tick both times, but moved the yellows both ways. Great skill.
That's yep. There are stones there, in play though, aren't there? The corner guards, they're well out, but they're there. Whether they'll come into play at the end of the end, time will tell.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think
This looks
Team
like it
Ulsrud
might
will be too
overdraw
worried.
a little bit.
Oh, there, that's fine. Whoa. Got a safeguard red, eh? Probably can jam on it.
Yeah, I mean, now the centre guards are a lot easier to peel now that the free guard zone is no longer there. So what Brewster has to hope for is some of these corner ones are maybe going to act as jammers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Team Norway are too worried about the wide ones.
No, but the thing is, in this game of curling, you don't know what's going to happen with your last stone. You may think you've got a regulation draw at the 4 foot, something, maybe pick something, or your sweepers lose their feet and burn the stone. So
Took a hair off that.
if there's a guard there in play and Team Brewster have something round it, then as long as you're making your opposition play the last stone, you don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
The boys are puffing and panting a little. It's been hard work this game for them. There's been quite a bit of sweeping.
Yeah, it's a good stone.
That's a
I
good
think they
stone
thought
there.
he tugged it a wee bit when he let go of it. He just took a bit off his slide, and they reacted early enough to convert it into a decent stone. This is where it gets a bit harder for Torger Nergard here. He's got to try and get this yellow out the way, removing the played stone without really jamming it on the wide ones.
Yeah, that's when these extra ones in play just give the skip a little bit something to think about.
No. You got it?
But yeah,
Yeah, great throw.
We need to go round now.
it's throwing the
Christopher
weight
Swarza.
accurately, isn't
Yeah,
it?
he's a master of that.
Do we come round now? No.
Hard, I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I think one
I
more.
think it's
If we come round now, we can lay 3. Eh?
what do you need to lay 3 for, though? Really, I guess
Yeah.
the more you lie, the better. But I think you would throw one more.
Go on then, boys.
I think throwing one more. I think the strategy's thinking is that if he can get round now, they take a guard off, and you'll be out counting the other red in the corner, and then put a centre guard up.
Out the way if you want. I've got it.
I think there's no doubt that Norway are going to try and just peel the centre off regardless of what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the worst thing that happens is it gives them the chance to peel that other red, and that's the one that you wanted to keep to come round, wasn't it?
That's the one outside chance they had. So maybe by coming round, Glenn was right to protect it. But
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
Seems a little high, but
yeah,
yeah, that actually was not what you wanted to happen.
Yeah, Tom Brewster's disappointed with that, but I think that was because they got the guard in the wrong place. It wasn't the wrong call, it was because they got the stone in the wrong place.
Yeah, it was just too high, wasn't it? It had to be past that stone to mean it, to take that out of play.
In fairness, Team Ulsrud, they haven't put much wrong, and certainly at this end they've played 100%, 2 perfect ticks, and then followed up by Christopher Sva playing 2 perfect peels. So it's left Team Brewster almost clutching at straws, but you're never out till you're out.
No, Glenn's struggled with his draw weight a wee bit, I would say.
It's a good spot for a hit and roll to the middle. Sorry? Good spot for a roll to the middle.
There's always a positive to be taken, eh? It could have ended up in a worse spot, he's quite right. But it certainly wasn't exactly where it was needing to be. But yeah, they're...
no doubt in Torger's mind where it's going to end up.
Yeah. You'd rather be playing red than yellow at the moment, I think.
Throw a guard, go to centre, hope he noses it, and if he doesn't, you go there with the last. Right. It's got to be here then. What are you thinking? Aye. You like that? I think you have to.
Yeah, I guess. What's your other option? You come in now, he hits it, then you're going to have to just do the same again and give him the same shot where...
Well, I think the other option that they're talking about is not daft either. I mean, it's you pays your money, you takes your choice. But I don't mind freezing that one. They'd maybe peel the guard, which means you could be lying 2 yellows rather than just 1. I don't think he's going to nose this guard.
No, I think you could be right there. But if you're lying, if you come freezing that red...
It's no use too long.
Leave it somewhere jammable.
It's no use too long though.
Constein?
No, that's a good spot.
Do you think he was trying to convince himself or Torger that it was a good spot?
Yeah, I think...
too long's no use either though, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty academic. You've got to hope that he makes a mistake. That's basically what they're playing for.
Yeah.
Torger sin kula ikke der da.
Thing is that with it being so long, even if there is a mistake, it's not,
I think that's what Brewster was saying.
If this gets nosed or freshed, if that were to happen, then he could put the perfect draw around it, and Thomas would still have a tap
follow
back.
it in. Yeah. And especially with the red counter there, you can afford to half it and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's maybe
It's
why the
always good to get
freeze
a
might have
wee
been.
saver.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's nosing it or freshing it, so there we go. That's perfect shot for him. So Tom has to play the...
So, just inside centre here then?
Yeah, play the freeze. They talked about it as an option at the last stone. They knew they'd probably have to play this with their last shot. Benefit to Team Ulsrud is those front end keeping everything so clear that he's probably going to have the whole of the 8 foot, possibly 12 foot to draw to.
Yeah.
Or if this doesn't freeze perfectly, he's going to have a hit and spin and still take a 1 going down the last. So.
Okay at that.
Running commentary while
Just
Tom was
wait.
sliding out
Whoa. Whoa! Room!
This was looking... it looks plenty, does it not?
there. It does.
We're no good then.
Needs to sit. Disappointing end.
Yeah, no, that's.
So we saw some great shots in that game, though, Mary. It was a
Yeah,
high intensity game early on.
Started well, didn't it? And then kind of just the weight. I think Team Brewster lost their weight just a little bit, and that at the end of the day is what's cost them. They've either been a little shade heavy or a little shade light on a lot of shots.
They were maybe overthinking a lot of the shots and worried about perfection, and maybe didn't force enough of Thomas Ulsrud himself at the end there.
They didn't. Team Ulsrud didn't make many mistakes, though. You know,
No.
they didn't. They maybe in the first half of the game they got their half chances, but they certainly, like you say, they weren't forced into doing anything too tricky late on in the game. So
there's a skill in that itself. Certainly the front end were really consistent, and when they came to play some shots, they played them all, which left Torger Nergard and Thomas Ulsrud playing pretty straightforward shots for them.
Absolutely. So they now have the rest of the day off.
Yeah.
Which is probably a bonus for them, especially if Torger's carrying a bit of an injury. So they'll be quite happy to kick back and play some cards this afternoon, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Team Brewster have a bit more work to do, and they're certainly not going to want to slip up again. They're going to want to march on with a win this afternoon.
Yeah. They'll take a lot from that game. There's a lot of good shots played. They knew they were up against a good team, and the day would have gone our way.
Absolutely.
So we look forward to hearing from everybody on the feedback to the Champions Curling Tour of Le Gruyère, Switzerland, and the City of Perth Masters this year, 2017. We look forward to seeing you all this afternoon in the B Road final.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mary.
No worries. Thanks, Rob.